How's everybody doing today? This is James from the Sports Lines Den. Today, earlier I was telling you guys about the couple of days ago. I was just talking to you guys about it wasn't a good day for me. Unfortunately, Friday we went 1-2 on my picks at a minus 1.55. Yesterday we lost 4-1 in the 5-side. Cost me $2.10, but I ended up making with the 4 wins. That had 2 units. Like I said, for the guys that were watching me on that other stream, 36. I would have spent 36 units to try to win 2. I did win those 2. It was a 4-0 victory, so I had it in the best 2 days. I am now 5-3 with a plus 1.35 units on the day. So I finally was able to get that a line on that Buccaneers game. It's a minus 210. I've got 2 soccer matches today. Going into Sunday, I got 2 soccer matches, from one in Italy, one in Spain, and 8 NFL games. Betting the money line on the NFL, the most I'm going to be spending is probably the 19 units on Kansas City to try to win 4. No, I got Napoli. Starts it off in Italy. The Napoli game, I got 1 unit on them. Then I got Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Green Bay for the morning games. Then I got Kansas City, San Francisco Bay, and Arizona. Late games in between them. I've got at 1 o'clock, Spain's playing or Real Sociedad on the Spanish La Liga is actually playing. So we're going to be watching a few of those games. I'll be going to work Sunday night, so it's kind of hard. Hopefully all these, I will get you another video on the lines. I'm looking at them right now. I've got Monday's picks in. And for a lot of you guys, there's only 2 picks on Monday, so hopefully, apologize. For some reason, just before I was doing this video, I started going into a sneezing fit. Don't know why. It's in the middle of the night right now. It's about 12:15 in the morning. So, I don't know. I'm just Tottenham. Okay. So the first game, the 1 p.m. game with Tottenham. 1.65 to make 1. And then the NFL game, the Monday night game, NFL loss. The Los Angeles Rams on Monday night for 2 units. So at 270, that's 5.4 to try to win 2. So, like I say, it was a pretty good day. Saturday, I went 4-1 on my professional picks. Looking at the numbers, 4-1 with a plus 290 just on that day. So if you guys were betting $10 units, you guys would probably made $29 off of that. Now, if you're betting $10 units, you would probably be spending you would have probably spent $360 to try to win $2 off of PSG. But you know what? Or $20 off of PSG. But when you know you're going to get the money, if you really are sure you're going to get the money back, that's when you start wagering that money, because that basically it's free money up there for grabs when it comes to stuff like that. If you're that confident. PSG, I got them in the game. PSG, Germany. If I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at my stats here. And I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna see what. I had it in here. Yeah. So far, those two games in Mexico, I lost that more. Tigres was the only one I lost, and it was a 1-1 tie. I won Leon this weekend on Friday, and I won America with a 1-0. Leon won 2-1. So currently, I'm at 8-4 in Mexico with a +4 advantage. France, I'm going to try to figure. I'm getting a lot of advantages. That's why I'm doing this system and sharing it with you guys, because the fact is trying to figure out. Currently, that PSG actually gave me. I was down because it was Rennes that I was playing. I bet Rennes the last 2 times, and they tied twice. So technically that's a loss for me. And on the sports books, so I was 0-2 with a -2. That double advantage on PSG gave me a 1-2 record with a 0 advantage in France. So this week's going to be good. This week I'm going to say NFL, guys. I'm looking at my NFL stats right now. 31-12 with a +45 advantage. That's why I said if for all those guys wagering right now, we're trying. We're giving it our very best at the moment. As a matter of fact, I think I need to move this. I think I need to drop this down. Gotta check something first. Gotta really check something. See if all the games are playing. This COVID thing has actually been a hassle when it comes to schedules, because when I put the games in, then Tampa moves up between Green Bay and Kansas City. I got to move them. Cool. All right. Okay, so Kansas City, then San Francisco, then Jacksonville, then the Seattle game, and then the Bears game. Okay, cool. So yeah, I knew them. It's an old Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. That's one of the really fun times I actually seen games in there. Or last time I saw that Raiders and Buccaneers, I think it was they played a few times since then. But you know what? I remember that Super Bowl. The last time I saw the Raiders actually go to a Super Bowl was against the Buccaneers, and I think they lost. Because that's when Gruden left the Raiders and went to go coach the Buccaneers. So let's see if we can figure something out here. We're trying. When it comes down to sports, in this live stream, we're going to actually do a little. We're going to check up on some news. We're going to go see. Since I got everything pretty much showed you guys, I said, all right, basically for tomorrow's games, I'm going to tell you that I said for tomorrow's games, I'm going to tell you this. For this, actually, it's today, so it's Sunday at 12:20 in the afternoon. We're going to start off with Italy. Napoli, I've got 1 unit on them. Then we're going to go into the NFL with Cleveland, got 3 units. Pittsburgh's got 2 units. Buffalo's got 2 units. Green Bay's got 3 units picked. Then we go into Spain with Real Sociedad for a unit. And then it's 4 NFL games with Kansas City, 4 units. San Francisco, 4 units. Tampa Bay or San Francisco, 2 units. Tampa Bay, 4 units. And Arizona, 3 units. So we're going to try. Okay, Tampa Bay is going to go in front of Kansas City. So I got to go. I'm sorry. I got to just do some movement around. Like I said, I got to do a little bit of some movements on the games. We're going to go back over here. We're going to go to home page. No, I don't want to talk about that. All right, we're going to talk about some news stuff here. I'm looking at, and thank you to Yahoo Sports right now for giving me a couple of things on our topics. I didn't get to watch any of the games, so I really couldn't pay attention to what's going on. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm looking at it. Everybody talking about the MLB baseball. We're going MLB World Series. For all of you that don't know, this is going to probably be one of the two teams, Tampa or Los Angeles, are actually going to have two champions at the same time, because the fact is, with Tampa winning the hockey season and Los Angeles winning basketball season, one of these teams is going, with baseball title, it's going to add to one their already championship. It's going to be title town they're going to have two of the top four leagues in the United States. So, and it's a 2-2 tie. As a matter of fact, from what I've seen, it was a 2-1 going into today. The Rays actually went. It says Rays went on walk-off fashion. Yeah, that's interesting. But there's also a lot of teams. That's interesting too. So 2-2. So basically, best of three now. It's going into it's washed. So whoever wins two of the next three games is going to win it. Honestly, I really like to see the Dodgers do it, because the fact is the Dodgers haven't won since 1980s. And the last time the Dodgers actually won a World Series, apologize for that. The last time the Dodgers won a World Series is I was probably had to be 1988, because San Francisco and Oakland were 1989 when the earthquake happened. I know, because I was actually about almost turning 5 years old when that earthquake actually happened, and I lived up in the Northern California area. So, yeah, I'm telling my age right now. But one of those things is the biggest thing about NASCAR or sports in the general is you always like that comeback story. I was rooting for the Cubs when they won that World Series, but 108 years. It was 20. In 2016, I was trying to win the World's. They won the World Series 108 years. I don't think anybody was alive. Maybe less than 1% of the population, and now I've seen were alive the last time the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. So back then, but now there's going to be probably 99.9% were alive. But I must say this. Just to see the Dodgers win, it's going to be interesting, because you know how many Laker fans are also Dodger fans. It's almost anybody that's a Laker fan is pretty much a Dodger fan. It's pretty much a Raider fan. It'd be a lot funny if just watch the Raiders actually win the Super Bowl this year. Just have a Lakers, Dodgers, Raiders. Oh, man, you couldn't get those fans to stop. Kid you not. But yeah, that's interesting that that game going on. It was an 8-7. I guess it was a walk-off fashion. But I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be – like I said, I want to see the Dodgers win. They haven't won since 1988. That fan base has been needing it. It's 32 years, I believe. There's a lot – shoot. There's people old enough to drink that haven't seen the Dodgers win a World Series. My brother is actually a Dodgers fan, so he's actually yeah, As a matter of fact, I think my brother, last time the Dodgers ended up winning, my brother was 1 month old. So that was one of those games that you're going to watch there. All right. If I can keep up with it or get a lot of different games on there, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be one of those things you just have to watch. This World Series is going to be interesting because I don't think Rays have ever won. They've been to one, but I don't think they've ever won with the World Series. So they're own one. And the Dodgers being such a historic franchise, they actually they've had opportunities. They've gone to the World Series a few times, but they haven't won it. I think they've won in 2 of the last 3 years. They've gone to the World Series. So that one we're going to it's going to be funny on that one. I have no idea. But, all right, guys, going back into this college football this weekend. I'm going to say this with a lot of the leagues just started up. The Big Ten just started. They played their first games today or yesterday. And I was just looking at that too. I was just looking at I was watching College Game Day just before I went to sleep today, and they were talking about Lee Corso was actually saying something about how he thought Indiana was going to beat Penn State. That was the upset of the day. And it just happened to be a 1-point victory in overtime for Indiana. So this is just not to be mean. Penn State has gone down. The Penn State University program, football program, has gone down ever since the whole the scandals with what's his name? Shoot, I forgot the. Hold on, let me look it up here. But Joe Paterno, I honestly believe Joe Paterno was very innocent, but they had to fire him because he was the head ball coach, letting things happen. In that case, I agree with the firing. It was 2013. Jerry Sandusky, okay. He did it. Jerry Sandusky is a very worst top. I don't like the guy. He's the scandal, the sex scandal, the child sex scandal that it happened. Put Joe Paterno in such a bad position. I mean, if he didn't know about it, he should have known about it, because the fact is he was the head coach. He should know what's going on in his program for that many years. And he just he looked both ways, and a speeding bus came around the corner. That's the best analogy I can't think of. And thing is that here's the thing: is when Joe Paterno actually, when they released him, he died about several months later, which is so upsetting. Which is so upsetting because the fact is, he would probably it broke him to the. Everybody talks about how, you got to have great physical health. Well, you got to have great mental health in that case. And when something like that happens, it's just it drains you. Your mental being drains your body to the point where it affects your physical body. A lot of people say, no, it doesn't, but it does. It actually drains. You can't fight diseases like you could if you were in a great mood and positive mood. But I believe that's what happened to Joe Paterno. He lost his will, and his will to live, and the cancer ended up getting him into his body stream. But yeah, I don't. Ever since Joe Paterno left or got fired, Penn State's program, yeah, they're competitive, but they're just not there. I mean, and this is a prime example. They lost the first game. They were ranked, and they lost the first game in overtime by 1 point to an Indiana squad that really hasn't. They're coming up, but they really don't haven't had the reputation to do what they got to do on that one. So I want to say that's just, it's shocking. It really is kind of shocking. Just watch that. So now we got, yeah, that was, and Penn State was ranked number 8th. In that one. All right. Next news. Ooh, looks like next news topic. I guess Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's always hard to say those Russian names. I'm sorry. I apologize if I screwed it up. But announced retirement. That's actually interesting because I recognize that name when he with his beef with he just had a fight yesterday. He went 29-0. He won the fight against Justin Gaethje. Just after the fight, he announces he retires. So that's actually one of those things in the UFC fight. Retiring at 29-0. 29-0-0 in UFC 254. That's a great way to go out. The Eagle, I have a lot of respect for you. For you to actually go out on top like that, that's a lot. Only a very few can choose how they go up. Very few fighters, athletes, anything can go out on top and just say, you know what, I'm done. So Khabib, for a well-respected, I lost the words right now. For a well-thought-out career, I have lots and lots of respect for Khabib. So that one we're going to, and I mean, he became real famous when his fights with Conor McGregor and the aftermath and the fights that came out afterwards. So it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's just the fights. UFC is hard, and I guess he announced. Okay, so I guess Khabib's father passed away, and he only had this one fight left on his card. So he gave his word to his mother he's going to stop fighting after this one last fight. So he ended up. Yeah, he said something about After his father died, he told his mother this would be his last fight, and he did. And so that's a good way of saying go out, one last fight for your dad, and go out. So Khabib, I have much respect, a lot of respect for you right there, and I really think it's going to be enjoy your retirement. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people out there that want you. They want that Conor McGregor fight, but you know what? You stay with your retirement. You want to have some. You gave a promise to your mom. You keep that promise. All right. And it looks like in the NFL, we're going back to the NFL. Antonio Brown, it looks like he's actually got another year on his deal. He got another 1-year deal. And he ended up with Tampa Bay. Looks like Tampa's going to have some good. It's almost like a Terrell Owens. You got that one superstar athlete that's got so much talent. He knows he's got talent. And it's just one of those things that everything's got to be his way. He's gone through Pittsburgh to the Raiders to New England to now to Tampa. It's just, and I bet you right now the only reason why he went to Tampa is because the fact is he went to New England, loved playing with Tom Brady and some of the teammates over there. And now that Tom Brady and Gronk go from New England to Tampa, he decided, okay, let's go see what I can do in Tampa. So good luck with him on that one. So currently I'm looking at a lot of these sports stuff. And there's a lot of things. Yeah, it's one of those things, like I said, I guess looks like Pete Carroll, and staying in the NFL, we're actually looking at it. Pete Carroll seems to be having he had some surgery. He had some orthoscopic knee surgery. And I guess he's pushing himself too hard. He's been going around in a golf cart and a cane all the way around practice. So he's actually on the injury report. When is the last time somebody actually had a head coach on the NFL injury reports? It's probably, I want to say that would probably be like Indiana, like an Indianapolis' coach fighting cancer, or Bruce Arians, or somebody like that. And I'm going to say that's one of those fights. It's just like, wow. But there's a lot of things about But yeah, there's a lot of talk right now. All right. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at a lot of the news topics, seeing which one would be very interesting. I like to talk about things that most people won't talk about. I mean, the NFL. Like I said, Antonio Brown going to the Bucks to try to win and try to work with Tom Brady and Gronkowski again. Everybody, I'm getting a lot of little feedbacks off of that one because the fact is this. I still say that Antonio Brown's one of those ones that he wants to make his own rules and understand. I mean, he was complaining about helmets. I mean, come on. Everybody's got to go through the same rules. Just play. These are some of these guys that just don't want to play. They just want the money and they don't want to play. Or they want to play by their rules and not actually what everybody else is doing because they believe they're higher than everybody else. They're bigger names than everybody else, which always gets me offended. And I want to tell people this. It just gets me so offended that everybody, team sports, they always have that one person. That's why I like defenses. Like when it comes to defense in the NFL, you don't. Yeah, they do have some superstar defensive players, but you're not all 11 players work for the same goal to stop the offense. It's not like when you get on an offensive team, you don't hear about the offensive line very often. You don't hear about the offensive line because the fact is you hear it's always the running backs, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the tight ends, the stats guys. When you need those linemen to protect the game or protect you. It's those unsung heroes. It takes a team to win. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this out loud, and I hate to be – a lot of teams need to be a lot more focused on team games instead of individuals. And I know fantasy players are going to hate me because they make money. They make their money off of teams, but I'm just saying. But I'm getting then on another topic, just on in another bit, primarily sport. The Lakers winning the NBA title this year. A lot of teams, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's going to have an asterisk on it. It's going to do this." The Lakers didn't play the Clippers, so they're not really real champions. For all you guys out there that think that the Clippers are the best team, everybody has the same opportunity. You play who's ever in front of you. Clippers blew it, so they must not be that good if they blew a 3-1 lead to Denver. That Lakers beat 4-1. Same opponent, 4-1. Lakers won every one of their games 4-1, or every one of their series like this. 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 4-2. They literally only lost 5 games in the playoffs. 6-5. Now, for those guys that's almost about a 70% win percentage. 70%. So 76.2% winning percentage. That's basically winning a little better than 3 out of every 4 games. They were actually at an 80% up until they went 44-2 in the final. But Lakers were given everything they had in front of them, and they won. So Lakers deserve this title. And I'm not saying this just because I'm a Lakers fan. I'm saying this that everybody went through the same thing. Everybody went through the same problems. But there was also Shaq was also talking about it too, where I guess Dwight Howard's like, I finally won a title, and bragging about he won a title. And Shaq's called it, from what shows here, Shaq was calling him a bandwagon jumper who shouldn't brag about winning a championship. This is coming from the Complex website. I guess Dwight's like, I don't want a title. When Dwight tried to go and team up with Kobe and had problems with Kobe. He wanted Kobe to step back and let him have the team, be the star of the team, telling Kobe, you've already had your time in the limelight. No, Kobe's going to be Kobe. Kobe was always Kobe. Kobe was one of the best players. I would have to say he's definitely top 3. Because you know what? Everybody wants to talk about it, do a comparison. It's very, very hard to do a comparison with 3 of the greatest players in the league, right? In leagues. 1 is still playing. 2 of them partially have spent time with the Lakers. 2 of the top 3 teams, 2 of the top 3 have spent time with the Lakers. Kobe and LeBron. And then you have Michael Jordan. It's very hard for me to personally, when everybody wants to talk about, who do you think is the greatest of all time? It's hard to say that without doing stats. And by stats, you got to go with not just wins like 6-0 or something like that. You got to go with most points in the playoffs, most this. Because and it's like in the NFL, like I always tell people, everybody wants to tell me, the greatest of all time has got to be, the greatest of all time has got to be Tom Brady. And they go, because he's got 6 championships. Well, he also has 3 losses. And he goes like this. He goes, he also has 3 losses. When Joe Montana is undefeated, 4-0. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Terry Bradshaw is also 4-0. And I'm just doing some lookup because I want to say that I want to double check to see, actually, looking up his Wikipedia right now. Terry Bradshaw, 4-0. Yeah, 4-time champion. So I'm looking it up. Trying to figure out how many. Yeah, Terry Bradshaw, he is 4-0 in Super Bowls. So is Joe Montana. But when people talk about the greatest of all time, they really don't talk about Terry Bradshaw being the greatest of all time at 4-0, even though he's got the same record as Joe Montana in Super Bowls. And everybody goes GOAT of all time is, well, Tom Brady's got 6 titles. Yeah, but he's also got 3 losses in Super Bowls. So he's got a 60 a 66.7% winning percentage compared to these guys who got 100% winning percentage. That's almost like the same thing when everybody talks about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Michael Jordan is 6-0, which he's 100%, and LeBron James is 4-6. Yeah, LeBron James has gone to more titles. The thing is, it's hard for me personally, it is hard to compare titles, because if we're going by who's got the most titles, Bill Russell will be is the greatest of all time with 9. And then you're going to have teams like Robert Horry, who's got 7. Nobody puts them in the list. If we're going by titles, there's people better than Michael Jordan by titles. It's an accumulative factor. You've got to add also statistics too. So for people to say, all right, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, LeBron James will never compare because he's lost records. He's lost. Then those same arguments can be said for like Tom Brady in the NFL, because he's lost. He can't be the greatest because he's not undefeated. People are going to lose games. Everybody loses games. And in NBA, and kid you not to be mean, Michael Jordan didn't sweep the NFL finals. He lost a couple of games. He never went to a game 7, but you know what? He's gone to a few game 6s. So he's lost 2 games in the NBA finals on a few occasions. But you know what? I always tell people, I say, it's hard to compare teams, especially basketball is somewhat easier, but like NFL, it's hard because you think about it, Tom Brady. If Tom Brady was playing in the 1970s, he wouldn't last. I'm going to say that because the rules have adapted to him and his style of play. And he took advantage of it. He's a great player. But you really think when he's like, hey, I got hit. You watch him on the TV. A lot of times back in his early days, you watch him on the TV looking at the ref saying, I got hit. Where's the flag? You play in the 1970s with the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain like that, the refs are going to laugh at you and say, get used to it, young man. But Terry Bradshaw had to play against defenses like that. Joe Montana had to play in the 1980s against defenses like that. With a little bit of – and now the defenses of the 1970s and the 1980s are definitely not the defenses of now because there's a lot more rules. They can't go headhunting, as they say, which back then it was, there's a lot of injury. It causes a lot of injuries. Yeah, it causes a lot of injuries, and we're trying to prevent injuries in the game, but football is one of those sports. It's full contact. You will get hurt. Now, how you get hurt is a different story. We're not trying to take players out. So we're not trying to take players out. We're just trying to intimidate them. That's why I think some of the flags nowadays in the NFL is hard to it's like, really? Was that really pass interference? You don't want like the pass interference plays. Honestly, I'm like this. You're trying to prevent a player from obviously catching the ball. But think about it. There's a lot of headhunt. A lot of hand movements and all that. Yeah. Or, he's holding the players. He could have caught the ball. You got to give him an opportunity to catch the ball and run faster in cases like that. In basketball, it's like the game has changed. Now the 3 ball is a little bit more prevalent. Everybody wants to see Golden State go the small ball route, and everybody wants to mimic them. It was one of those games I loved. I want to say I watched so many times. how the NFL or the NBA has tried to mimic other teams. I've known the Lakers. I've watched the Lakers for quite some time, and I've said, you know what? Listen, Lakers fans are so used to big man basketball. We've had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We've had Shaq. We've had Paul Gasol. There was one time I remember, I think it was D'Angelo Russell was drafted. I was literally rooting for, because we had the number 2 pick, and we had 2 centers. That there was the top 2 prospects were 2 centers, and I was like, great, we're going to have 2 big men. We need 2 great big men. Look at the NFL. That's the thing, is we needed a big man on the download to stop the block. Make them shoot from outside. Get some defenders on the outside and get some defense. If you can't shoot, your best option to win is keep them from shooting. That's when we picked for D'Angelo Russell. I thought it was such a terrible pick by the Lakers. Such a terrible pick. Taking number 2, and then they ended up getting 2 other guys, or center ended up being taken 3rd round. And I was hoping the Lakers lost that year, and they did. And then they had the whole Swaggy P and D'Angelo Russell controversy, and I said, get him out of there. It's interesting when I talk to people and I say, you know what? I've watched sports so much in my life that I understand how teams are built. And like I said, you got one superstar player that could do everything. You had a superstar center. Helps you out so much. A superstar center helps you out so much. And it's crazy. It is so crazy to watch that. Like I said, I'm sorry. It was just, I was really upset when I was like this. It's like everybody's saying, oh, Lakers are going to have an asterisk on this because it was this kind of year. Everybody went through the same problems. I'm sorry. It's a bubble team. They didn't play in the front of their home in rival fans and stuff like that. I'm sorry. The Lakers just got a title. They still get that ring. So, like I said, it's just one of those things that I like to. This sports report is also kind of a little rant from me. And I want to actually, like I said, a lot of the sports things that's going on, we could talk about. I'm putting in 49 minutes right now. I got another 10 minutes to go. Let's see. You know what? It's a lot of the things around here, like the kneeling and for the NFL, the kneeling for unity and everything like that. That's one thing is I'm watching some of these top headlines. It's like from ESPN, and one of them says Day is sorry. I'm guessing the head coach Day, sorry for not kneeling at Ohio State as Ohio State rolls Nebraska. Why is he sorry? Because he needs to show unity to the BLM and everything like that. Like I said, I don't like getting into political stuff, but that when political comes into sports, I gotta talk about something. Personally, I'm one of those guys. It's like this. I said, you know what? If you want to act like a criminal, you're going to be treated like a criminal. I'm sorry. That's just the way I think. But I always tell, if you're innocent, you deserve justice. I'm going to say that too. A lot of these people are like, well, we got to understand how the people view black people. I'm like, well, first of all, everyone wants to bring up Chicago. I talked to this one guy when I was actually driving in a Lyft in Las Vegas. It was a black guy from Chicago, picked me up, and I was heading to Walmart. I remember where I was going. And I told him straight up, I said, you know what, listen, first of all, and me and him got into a discussion with all the Black Lives Matter and everything of that nature. And I said, they love to bring up Chicago, how a lot of black people are being killed in Chicago in the media, in like the news, like CNN and NBC and all them. They want to bring it up. If you look at the reports, the police reports for Chicago, they're actually telling the truth. A lot of black people are dying, and it's the primary amount of murders that are happening within a quarter of the statistics, and most of them are between the ages of 16 and 25 years old. What the media does not show you is the fact of the matter is most of the murderers, the ones that are doing the killings, are mostly black people. And most of them are between the ages of 16 and 25, which I'm going to say this right here on my channel. And I'm sorry to say it, if you're watching my channel and you haven't been black, that is not race crime. That's gang crime. And we need more police to stop it. That's why I always tell people when they say Black Lives Matter, I was like, you know what? I don't even think Black lives believe that Black Lives Matter, because the fact is they are so easy. There is Bloods and Crips. I'm going to talk. Everybody knows about them. Bloods and Crips will kill each other because they're rival gangs. But they're both black people. So the Black lives there are so willingly, they will kill each other just for stepping onto their territory. Just by walking into their territory with their colors. How can Black lives matter when black people are willing to kill another black life through gang violence? But yet, when a cop kills them, they're up in arms. Why isn't people stopping gang violence? And then maybe the way the media and a lot of the world will look at the black people would stop if gang violence gets reduced. And I'm just going to say that out loud because the fact is it's getting to the point where a lot of black people are like, well, you think Black Lives Matter? I think Black Lives Matter. But the way the BLM's going around it is almost starting to look like the KKK. They don't want equality. They want supremacy. They're doing these exact same things the KKK did in the 1870s. Trying to get political momentum using intimidation. And I always called KKK a white supremacist group, and they're also a terrorist organization. The definition of a terrorist organization, which KKK fits in, is a group or organization that uses intimidation, fear, and violence to promote a political or religious agenda. That's basically the definition of a terrorist organization. KKK did that. BLM looks like they're doing that. Because BLM's was causing all these riots after everybody they're using fear, intimidation, and violence to promote a political agenda. Because why is these BLM people going pulling people out of cars and beating the shit out of them? I'm just saying. So personally, when the kneeling, if you brought the attention up, now what are you going to do about it? Okay, you brought awareness to it. What are we going to do about it? Because all I hear is BLM giving problems but not solutions. Their solution, white people give up their homes. That's not a solution. That's more of like that's almost to the black supremacy instead of black equality. BLM leaders going over to people. I'm just saying it's just one of those things that's in the world, and I'm going to guarantee you, I can understand how friends of. There was a young lady, grade older than me. She was a year older than me. We lost her back many years ago in my hometown of Blythe, California, where she actually was shot by a stray bullet as well when two Mexican men had an argument and started shooting at each other. And she outside of a bar. I didn't see equality. Where is the equality on that? Everybody should be treated equally. I believe that race, their sex, or anything like that to gain an advantage over somebody else. Like, oh, I'm black. You must hate me because I'm black. You must hate me because I'm female. You must hate me because I'm this. No, I hate you because of your personality. If you have a bad personality, I'm going to hate you because of that. And that's why I say sports. A lot of times I talk about sports because the fact is sports bring people together. You can unite. I've got a lot of friends that are blacks, Mexicans. They're all Laker fans, and I'm a Lakers fan. We all unite when our team wins. We go at each other. I got people I go at each other when I'm an Angels fan and they're a Dodgers fan. I mean, we have rivalries. Raiders and 49ers have a rivalry. Golden Knights and the Kings, we've got rivalry. But it's friendly rivalry. I mean, there's some people that take it too far and hate each other because, oh, I hate you because you're Michigan, Ohio State. I hate you. I hate this. I'm like, come on. You're going to hate somebody for that. It's not them having the issue. You've got the issue. If you hate somebody because of who they like as a sports team, that's not their issue. That's your issue. So I'm already past my hour's worth of talking today, guys, and I'm sorry if I brought in a little political. I'm going to try not to do that again. But when I see something on the computer with the talks and everything like that, I'm going to try to say we're going to have to. I'm going to just try to keep all my talks down to talk about sports and stuff like that. But I appreciate the fact is that you guys were able to watch this video. Please send me a like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys like my opinions, I appreciate it. If you guys don't like my opinions, they're my opinions. I like them. That's all that matters. But and that's one thing is a lot of people don't like about me is I'm very straight up forward. I'm straight blunt sometimes. That it gets to a lot of people don't like it because, oh, you disagree with me. I've had people say I'm so wrong on the political on the elections because everybody says, oh, you're a Trump, you're defending Trump, so you must be a Trump supporter. No, I just don't like the Democrat Party that much. And that I will vote for a guy that I don't think doesn't have the experience, over somebody who's lied to me over many, many years now. Over a party that's lied to me so many years. I mean, California is Democratic state, and I see it getting worse. I don't see it getting better. They're under Democrat leadership, and I see it getting worse. I'm sorry to say, that's just me. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and we'll keep this video is basically sports talk, sports, and we'll see what it comes up. So until next time, guys, like I said, you guys got my picks earlier. If you guys watching the stream from earlier, you guys got my picks for Sunday. There's 10 games that I've got picked up, 2 soccer games, 1 in Italy, 1 in Spain, and 8 NFL games. And hopefully you do pretty good. Because right now, over the last 2 days, we're 5-3 with a plus 135 units. And we're actually in the green in the units, so we're good. So hopefully we get some wins, and maybe next week we'll knock them out. At least we're not losing that much. I can always say that. All right, guys. So until next time, talk to y'all later. The Sports Lions out.